What do you do when it feels like your mind has actually turned against you? If you wake up and your very first thought is about your symptoms, and if you can't stop scanning your body for what's wrong, if every ache sends you spiraling into worst case scenarios, your brain isn't broken. It's just stuck in a pattern that was designed to protect you, but now it's keeping you sick. I'm Nancy Ma, physical therapist and autoimmune freedom coach, and I've worked with hundreds of women whose minds became their biggest obstacle to healing. And here's what nobody tells you. Your brain is a supercomputer, and right now it's programmed to hunt for danger in your own body. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you 6 brain hacks that help reprogram your mind to work for your healing instead of against it. And the part that no one talks about is when you stop fighting your mind and start redirecting it towards your healing, your body finally feels safe enough to heal. So let's start with this. Give your brain a healing project, not a problem to solve. There is a distinction. Right now, your brain wakes up and immediately starts chasing your symptoms. What's wrong? What's changed? What does this mean? And without realizing it, you become the problem your brain is trying to solve. Research shows that when your brain doesn't have a clear project to focus on, it defaults to negative self-talk and rumination, especially when you're dealing with chronic symptoms. But here's the shift. Your brain is designed to build, plan, organize, and solve. That's the CEO of your brain, your prefrontal cortex. It's just aimed in the wrong direction, or maybe taking a bit of a break. So instead of trying to fix yourself, give your brain a small external healing project, something creative, something organizing, something you can plan or build. This is not about productivity or even performance. It's about redirecting mental energy away from symptom surveillance. So pick one project that feels doable with your current energy level. And the moment your brain has something outside of your body to focus on, it stops aiming all that problem-solving power inward. Your nervous system gets a break from constant hypervigilance, and that alone creates more space for healing. Something I like to recommend for my clients is to spend 10 minutes outside in the sun every day. So that feels doable for most people. And what that does is it can give you a sense of purpose and meaning because vitamin D is healing. Or you can also spend 10 minutes on cuddling your pet or a loved one. Whatever it is, just give your brain something that it can look forward to and get excited about. It's so important that you learn this skill, how to train your brain to see safety signals and not just threats. Your brain has a filter called the reticular activating system. And right now, that RAS is programmed to show you everything that's wrong because that's what you look for. When you first got sick, scanning for danger did keep you safe. But now that filter has turned into a trap. So here's the hack. Today, start looking for 3 moments when your body feels safe, calm, or even neutral. It doesn't have to feel amazing. It doesn't have to feel healed, not even symptom-free, just not activated, right? Because it's when you're drinking tea and your shoulders drop. Maybe it's petting your dog and your breath deepens. Maybe it's lying in bed and feeling grateful. Every time you notice one, pause for 5 seconds and really take that in so your nervous system can start focusing on those moments more than it focuses on the symptoms. In these moments, you're telling your brain, this matters. Show me more of this. And over time, your reticular activating system starts filtering for safety instead of threat. So think about when you got a new car, and we just did over the summer, and we never noticed this car on the road before. But after we got it, of course, we started seeing it everywhere because our reticular activating system started noticing it for us. That's its job. Brain hack number 3, embed a new healing identity using the neuroscience of manifestation. So this is how manifestation actually works. Your brain has something called the default mode network. This is where your identity lives. It's the story of who you think you are. And right now, that story might sound like this. I'm broken. My body is stuck. My body is attacking itself. I have this diagnosis. This will never end. And every time you think those thoughts and your brain tells yourself this story, you strengthen that neural pathway and you will create more evidence that supports that identity. So this isn't about pretending you're not sick. And it's definitely not toxic positivity. It's not about pretending that you don't have symptoms. This is about using neuroscience identity shifting to rewire the story your brain tells you about how your body works. So here's how to lay down a new path, also called neuroplasticity. Every morning, write one sentence about who you are becoming in the form of I am statements. I am healing. I am supported. I am on the journey of vitality. Whatever resonates for you, it is the truth because you're on your path. And you can imagine yourself being in that state. When you say this, your body is learning to feel safe. And when you read these statements silently and then out loud, close your eyes and visualize yourself living from that identity. You're embedding a new belief into your subconscious. And when that belief gets embedded, it activates your task positive network. Your brain starts hunting for proof that you're healing. And the more proof it finds, the safer your body feels letting go of inflammation and hypervigilance. So they have done so many studies where people who practice playing the piano do just as well as people who practice in their minds only, or basketball players who practice free throw shooting in the gym versus players who practice in their minds. They perform very closely at the same level if they put in the same number of hours of rep. So what does this mean? It means that if you practice imagining things in your mind, the brain changes and therefore the physical changes will catch up to manifest what your mind has already seen. I hope that makes sense because that's a very powerful research that supports that brain training does work very well. So let's pause for a minute here. If you have done the work of rewiring your mind, or you've taken a whole bunch of supplements, or change your diet to try to combat inflammation and none of that's working, it's likely because you're not addressing inflammation at the real root cause. And this is why I designed a very powerful tool called the Inflammation Indicator Test. Now, this tool is so powerful because it's only 5 minutes to take, but it addresses the 3 main areas that are causing inflammation that you are likely not even aware of. It's super quick. You get your results instantly. You also get a personalized report so you can know what to do next. The link for this test is in the description below. Let's get back to brain hacks. This is point number 4. Retrain your mind to look for progress. So every morning, before you check your symptoms, before you check your phone, ask yourself, why is today going to be a good day for my healing? What am I grateful for? And then let your brain answer. Maybe you slept a little better. Maybe you have space to rest. Maybe you feel present. And some days it's simply, I'm alive and breathing, and let that be good enough. In these moments, you're directing your mind to look for what's going right instead of what's going wrong. And then at night, before you sleep, ask, what went well today? Maybe digestion felt easier. Maybe you checked in with yourself and that's new for you. And maybe you had a moment of energy. In these moments, you're training your brain to hunt for progress. Healing is always happening. And when you direct your attention to healing, the more it happens and the faster it can happen for you. You've just been trained to ignore it because that self-criticizing voice seems to show up more often. So these 2 questions, morning and night, will shift your nervous system out of threat detection and into healing mode. So brain hack number 5, let your thoughts pass without becoming your thoughts. So most people don't understand this, but hear me. You are not your thoughts. Thoughts are just mental events. They don't say anything about what reality is. They come and they go. They rise and they fall. And you can learn to let them pass without gripping onto them. Imagine sitting by a river. Every time a thought comes up, you write it on a piece of paper and you toss it into the water and you watch it float downstream without judgment. Research shows that observing thoughts without attaching to them reduces rumination and helps your nervous system exit those negative loops. So here's the practice. When a thought about your body comes up, don't fight it, just notice it. So if you hear yourself in meditation where you're imagining yourself sitting by a river, watching the river stream, and you hear yourself saying, I'm broken, or I'm never going to get better, or what is ever going to work for me, or why am I like this? Don't focus on that thought and go down that spiral. Just catch the thought and toss it down the river and just let it watch. Another thought will keep coming up and then just keep throwing it in the river and keep letting it pass by. That small shift, observing your thoughts without being attached to it, creates the separation between you and who you think you are. Just because your mind offers a thought, it offers a suggestion of what it thinks you are, it doesn't mean you have to believe it. The more you practice this detachment from your thoughts, the safer your mind feels to quiet down. You're no longer asking your brain to solve the problem of you. And in that space, your nervous system finally gets to rest. So all of these brain hacks so far have been about how to use your brain to calm your nervous system. And the thing is, our mind is a very powerful tool. And like powerful tools, it also needs a rest, right? So imagine you have a knife. This knife is used to cook beautiful meals, chop and prepare your meals. But if you don't let it rest so you can sharpen it, it will become dull and likely create more injury or chance of injury because the knife is not sharpened. The same thing goes for your mind. You must let your mind rest by being in your body. Meditation is not about using your mind to stop your mind. Meditation is about being in your body, in your breath, in your energy, so that your mind can rest, so that when you do use your mind, it can get way better results for you. And this is the part that most people miss. You can't just think your way into healing. Your mind rewiring helps you build awareness, but even the strongest minds need rest. Just like training for a sport, recovery is part of the process. If you're a person who's smart and overthinks, which you must be because you're watching this video, you must be super intelligent, so thank you for watching. I get it. I'm a really good thinker too. And then I couldn't sleep because all I did was think. And that's when I learned this. If you live mostly in your head, pain often shows up to bring you back into your body. This is such a beautiful process. And this is why practices like gentle yoga, acupressure, contrast therapy, all concepts and ideas I teach in my other videos, so check them out. All these physical interventions are there because your body is telling you it needs attention. It's telling you that your mind needs to rest. And when you simply feel your breath, your nervous system can calm down. So remember, you're not here to be a human doer. You're here to be, that's right, a human being. And you've probably heard it. And if you're anything like me, you're like, yeah, I get it, I know. But actually practicing it. This was such a hard concept for me, and I recently started humming, something that I've never really done before. And it really truly activates your vagus nerve and helps you rest and also rest your mind. So it's something that I recommend for everybody, including myself, because healing often begins the moment you start listening to your body instead of over analyzing it. If you identified with any of the message today about how to use your mind for healing and how to rest your mind for healing, I invite you to book a free energy activation call with our team. On this call, we will identify exactly what's blocking your healing and map out a personalized plan to help your nervous system leave survival mode. The link is in the description below. And as always, thank you so much for watching this video. I truly appreciate it. And if you benefited from this even a little bit, please like, subscribe, and share because this helps me to create more valuable content like this. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.